Hello everyone, hello. Let me start off by saying Happy New Year's to everyone. I hope 2026 is very kind and you all will achieve greatness. I just want to say thank you to everyone that's been rocking with me and the entire channel for the past, 2 years now? It's been a hell of a journey. I appreciate the love, the kindness, and the support you all have been showing me for the past 2 years. And best believe more movie reviews will be coming in 2026. So let's start this year off on a more positive note by discussing with you all my top 10 best films of 2025. Like always, a couple of things to keep in mind. 1, this is all just my opinion and this is all for kicks and giggles, even though there is some truth to this list. And 2, don't take it personal. There were a plethora of great films that came out in 2025, so if your favorite movie is not on this list, I'm sorry in advance. But with that being said, let us discuss my 10 films of 2025 that I believe are absolute cinema. Kicking off this list at number 10, we have Eddington. I am glad that this movie exists because Eddington is the perfect film that recaptures the absurdity that happened in 2020. 2020 was a very absurd and depressing year, to put it nicely. And this film perfectly captures the chaos that emerged 6 years ago. From failure to understanding basic health guidelines, to tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theories, to the anger and the protest that emerged after witnessing police brutality, and all in all, just the most room temperature IQ takes you could ever imagine. Of course, there is some exaggeration for dramatic effects, but the overall film is still pretty good. Eddington is a movie that won't be for everyone, but it's a film that I truly believe is much needed. At number 9, we have Zootopia 2. Zootopia is one of my all-time favorite Disney movies. So when I heard the news the sequel was coming, I was cautiously optimistic. And after watching the movie, I truly think this is one of Disney's best. In fact, I would argue it might be even better than the first one. The animation and the color schemes are way more fluid and more diverse. The jokes are still just as funny, but what I love the most about the Zootopia movies, especially this one, are the mature themes that it dives deep into. Any film, especially in animation, that is not afraid to talk about certain topics and events that some people would wish that we, the American people, would rather sweep under the rug, automatically has my respect because this movie is just incredible. And the voice acting is just as good and the character development is even better. When Zootopia 3 comes out, which, let's be honest, it's bound to happen, I will be there day one. And by the time that film comes out, I will probably be a father by then. At number 8, we have Weapons. It has been a while since I've seen a film that was this disturbing. Before the big reveal, just the thought of just children going missing on their own in the middle of the night is terrifying to literally anyone, especially if you are a parent. The sinister nature of the film is what carries it. Like all horror films, yes, there are jump scares, and the jump scares are pretty well done in this movie. But Zach Cregger does not use these jump scares as the selling point, which I love and appreciate. The performances in this film are perfect. Do you know how amazing a horror film has to be for the Academy or other award ceremonies to acknowledge and nominate a performance? Because we all know the Academy does not respect horror, let's keep it real. Because if they did, these two should have been nominated for their performances. Weapons is one of those movies that people will be talking about for years to come. And if it's not already, it will be a cult classic. At number 7, we have I'm Still Here. Some of you may not be familiar with this movie, but it was going crazy in Brazil. So I saw the film in February of last year, and I understand why Brazil is praising this movie. I'm Still Here is a very raw and unsettling film, but I think it is a crucially important film that the public needs to know more about. And after seeing it win Best International Film at the Oscars last year, it's only right to keep the conversation going. The film gives you a brutally honest overview of the devastating impact of political repression during Brazil's military dictatorship. That is some scary shit. And in my review of I'm Still Here, I found out this woman is a true warrior. This woman has done more for the people of Brazil than our current president has done for the United States of America. But some people ain't ready for that conversation. I'm Still Here is an incredible film, and once again, one of the most important films of our time. At number 6, we have Hamnet. Going into this movie, I kind of kept my expectations leveled, and walking out of it, I was beyond impressed. When it comes to grief and the loss of a child, Hamnet is about as raw, realistic, graphic and visceral as you can get. Like I said in my review, I love the approach this film takes. Some people thought this film was going to be an adaptation of the actual play Hamlet, but in actuality, it was about the story of the passing of William Shakespeare and Agnes's child that inspired the creation of Hamlet. But I like how most of the film takes place from the perspective of Agnes, because if anything, she is the movie, and Jessie Buckley delivers a sensational Academy Award level performance. And truth be told, if she wins at the Oscars, I wouldn't be mad at it. Easily one of the best performances of 2025, without a doubt. And not only that, I genuinely believe this is Chloe Zhao's magnum opus. Coming in at number 5, we have One Battle After Another. One Battle After Another proves two things. One, which is a point I've been saying for the longest, it does not matter how long a movie is. If the pacing is well done, who cares about the runtime? This movie is nearly 3 hours and I didn't feel it not once, because in every scene, at every moment, there was always something going on. There was no time for resting. We're always on the move. And even when we are resting, it's for a very brief moment. And number 2, America is due for a revolution. This movie is a giant middle finger to fascism and white supremacy, and I couldn't love it anymore because of that. Great story, great themes, and the performances are immaculate. Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, and Chase Infinity were my most favorite performances in this project. And this movie further proves that we need more comedy movies starring Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm gonna keep it a buck. As far as the award ceremonies go, including the Oscars, Golden Globes, and XYZ, it's gonna come down to One Battle After Another and Sinners taking the crown. Personally, I am rooting for both of them, but I kind of want Sinners to win the most. At number 4, we have Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. I have been a longtime fan of Guillermo ever since Pan's Labyrinth, which funny enough, I didn't watch that movie until much later in my high school years, but that was the movie that confirmed for me that, yeah, Guillermo is the GOAT. But one thing about Guillermo is that he is great at world building. This beautiful gothic fantasy has never felt more alive, from the practical effects and the insanely good makeup, to the production design, to the costumes and dialogue, to even the overall narrative theme. This film is phenomenal. This is the coolest Frankenstein has ever looked. And it's funny because technically he's not Frankenstein, but he is, but he isn't. If you watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. But I love this approach that Guillermo takes, because we've seen in a lot of past horror films where Frankenstein is the monster that everyone fears, but the whole time, Victor Frankenstein, the creator, is the true monster. But this is a beautifully crafted, well-edited, well-directed, and well-executed film. And if someone said this was Guillermo's best project, I wouldn't disagree. It's at least top 3 in Guillermo's catalog. I will stand on that. At number 3, we have Wake Up Dead Man, A Knives Out Story. Rian Johnson, man. How does he do it? Don't you guys love a film series that progressively gets better as each installment comes in? All of the Knives Out films are great, but I believe this is easily his best one yet. From the chemistry of the cast, to the character development, to how majority of the cast played a significant role in the overall plot, to the film having you guess who done it and why, to finally establishing Benoit Blanc as a 3-dimensional character. Benoit Blanc is one of the greatest fictional characters in cinema history. I would die on that hill. And one thing about this film is that it knows how to shift tones in a fluid and natural way. One minute you're in awe with the visuals and the production, next minute you're laughing your ass off, and the third minute you're locked in with a serious stone face. That scene where Pastor Judd is on the phone with that lady is one of the best scenes not only in the film series, but in cinema as a whole. It's just a very well executed scene. One of the least selfish characters in cinema history. At number 2, we have Nezatu. Words cannot even explain my reaction after seeing this movie. This image is the best way I can describe it. I was beyond blown away with how amazing this movie was. So I actually saw the film back in February because I read an article about how the film made over $1 billion and it's one of the highest grossing films like in the world, and I didn't hear a peep about it in America. So then I watched it and I was like, damn, why is no one talking about this movie? For those who don't know, this is a Chinese-based animated movie, and that box office performance really shows that there is a whole nother world out there. The animation was phenomenal. The action sequences will leave you in awe. It's emotional, it's funny, characters are well written, and the best part about it is that I did not need to watch Nezha 1 to understand Nezha 2. Granted, Nezha 1 gives you more context, but arguably Nezha 2 works as a standalone project. And even after watching the first Nezha film after seeing 2, watching that part 1 made me appreciate 2 1,000 times more. In fact, this movie was so big that A24 came in and said, hey, we'll re-release your movie in American theaters, but spoken in English, and we'll show it in IMAX. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to see the English version, but I already saw the original version. I'm okay with that. This film kind of puts American animators to shame, and that is no shade to American animators, but I'm just saying, whatever they're feeding them boys in China, we need it over here. Of course, we in America, we have some animated gems, but Ne Zha 2, we gotta throw that film in the conversation. And for the longest time, Ne Zha 2 was my favorite film of the year, until April 18th of 2025. Before I give y'all my number one pick, let me share with y'all a few honorable mentions. These films did not make it on my top 10 list, but I strongly recommend that people should go check them out. And now, my number one pick for my favorite film of 2025, Sinners. I don't care what none of y'all say. Not only is Sinners a cultural phenomenon, but this is easily Ryan Coogler's magnum opus, without a doubt. I'm just gonna say it, this is a film made by us, for us. This movie has it all, from a great story to very well written three-dimensional characters, to great bloody action, to the insane amount of underlying themes that this film, along with its characters, represent. And let us not forget about the incredible visuals and the astounding music. This is one of those movies you gotta see in IMAX, there's no other way around it. There are award ceremonies I didn't even know existed that are giving Sinners their flowers, and the amount of praise and glazing the film is getting is rightfully justified. Now, of course, no film is perfect. We all know that, but I am giving this movie all its flowers. And given the amount of praise and accolades this film is getting, it just further proves that black art matters. But yeah, y'all, that is pretty much my list for my top 10 best films of 2025. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys thought about the film. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What are your top 5 favorite films of 2025? Whatever you thought, let me know down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you all in the next one.